So then the next is effects in humans. Okay, previously we discussed about all these topics and subtopics. Here we are going to start with effects in humans. So introduction. A thorough discussion of the known effects of the investigational products in humans should be provided. Known effects means if that investigational product has any known effects, or in previous other studies or anyone else's trial there was like COVID-19 vaccines. There were many companies who were trying for the COVID-19 vaccines approval at different times and different stages. So suppose, for example, that this company A's trial began earlier than company B. They conducted trial till clinical stages. Now only post-marketing approval is pending. And they are yet to start with the clinical trial. They might begin the phase 1 trial anytime soon. So they could look for their findings, that whatever possible outcomes of whatever possible human side effects, whether therapeutic or side effects, were observed in their studies. So a known effect is there, including information on pharmacokinetic, metabolism, pharmacodynamic, dose response, safety, efficacy, and other pharmacological activities. Where possible, a summary of each completed clinical trial should be provided. Information should also be provided regarding results of any use of investigational product other than from in clinical trials, such as from experience during marketing. So that also should be included in the summary. Now pharmacokinetics and product metabolism in humans में क्या include होना चाहिए? So a summary of information on the pharmacokinetics of the investigational product should be presented, including the following if available. So pharmacokinetics including metabolism as appropriate and absorption, plasma protein binding के बारे में, distribution के बारे में, elimination. So basically we have studied in pharmacology about ADME, right? Then आता है bioavailability of the investigational product. Absolute where possible and or relative using a reference dosage form. How much is the bioavailability of a drug under study? Then population subgroup. Population subgroups में क्या आएगा? What genders, age or impaired organ function, the details of that. Interaction, the interaction of that drug with any other drug or with food, so product interaction or effects of food. Other pharmacokinetic data, that is results of population study performed within the clinical trial. हो सकता है कि अलग अलग ethnicity या अलग अलग type of genetic structure पे there be different ADME observed. इसी के अंदर आता है effects in humans में ही आता है safety and efficacy. So a summary of information should be provided about the investigational product, including metabolites where appropriate, the safety, pharmacodynamics, efficacy and dose response that were obtained from preceding trials in humans, that is healthy volunteers and or patients, and that implication of this information should be discussed, कि how this particular information affects what is going to happen next. In cases where a number of clinical trials have been completed, the use of summaries of safety and efficacy across multiple trials by indications in subgroups may provide a clear presentation of the data. So they say that if there are multiple trials that have been conducted, clinical trials, then summary of each as in subgroups in a very clear form could help in the presentation of data. Tabular summaries of adverse drug reactions for all clinical trials, including those for all studied indication, would be useful. Important differences. अब अच्छा differences भी, adverse drug reaction के patterns में भी differences हो सकते हैं और number of incidences across this indication और subgroup के भी differences हो सकते हैं, तो उसको भी discuss करना है. And the IB should provide a description of the possible risk, कि अब possible risk क्या आ सकते हैं और possible adverse reaction क्या आ सकती है, वो भी anticipate करके सॉरी उसके ऊपर एक description देना, basis of prior experience with the product under investigation obviously. And a description should also be provided of the precautions and special monitoring to be done as a part of it. Sometimes certain drug requires some precautions to be done. Then marketing experience. Under human trial only, human experience only, they are talking about effects in human, marketing experience. The IB should identify countries where the investigational product has been marketed. हो सकता है कि आपने जो ये IB दिया है, जो investigational product under study है, वो कुछ countries में approve हो चुका हो, marketed. So they say that identify countries where investigational product has been marketed or approved. Any significant information. अब ऐसा क्यों करने को बोल रहे हैं कि अगर वहाँ से कोई सिग्निफिकेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन आती है फ्रॉम मार्केटेड यूज़, दैट शुड बी समराइज्ड, या फिर जैसे कि फॉर्मुलेशन, डोजेज, रूट ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, या फिर एडवर्स प्रोडक्ट रिएक्शन. So IB should not only identify this but should also identify all the countries where the investigation product did not receive approval. तो दो चीज़ें इसमें, जहाँ कंट्रीज़ में आपको अप्रूवल या मार्केट किया आपने ड्रग, और जहाँ पे अप्रूवल नहीं मिला उनकी जानकारी भी लिखनी है. एंड वाई वॉज इट विदड्रॉन, तो वाई डिड नॉट इट रिसीव अप्रूवल for marketing or was withdrawn from marketing or registration. So why also is answered, because that will also help in the current CT, that is clinical trial studies, right? Previous failures or previous adverse reaction also helps you to update and upgrade yourself for the good. Then summary of data guidance for the investigator, which we were talking about. So it provides an overall discussion of non-clinical and clinical data, and it summarizes the information from various sources on different aspects of the investigational product wherever possible. In this way, the investigator can provide with the most informative interpretation of the available data and with an assessment of the implications of the information for future clinical trials. तो उसके पास जो भी पहले हुआ उसकी पूरी इन्फॉर्मेशन रहेगी, उसके बेसिस पे वो उस चीज़ को इंटरप्रेटेट करके, उस डाटा को इंटरप्रेटेट करके अवेलेबल डाटा को एक असेसमेंट बनाएगा और उसको इम्प्लाई करेगा फॉर फ्यूचर क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स. Where appropriate, the published reports on related products should be discussed if there is any published reports. This could help the investigator to anticipate. Basically हमारा main goal क्या है, that we want our clinical trial to be successful from both the aspects, from business aspect also because we are spending so much of money, and most importantly from safety, efficacy and purity. And quality, that my drug under investigation is safe, effective and a quality drug. So that is why we are doing all this hard work. So the overall aim, again in a summary form, lastly we can say that the overall aim of this section as we discussed above is to provide the investigator with a clear understanding. investigator को ये clear understanding होनी चाहिए पॉसिबल रिस्क की और ADRs की, एडवर्स ड्रग रिएक्शन की, और जो भी उसके साथ स्पेसिफिक ऑब्जर्वेशन, प्रिकॉशन या टेस्ट हुए हैं जो कि क्लिनिकल ट्रायल में भी ज़रूरी हो सकते हैं. और इस तरह से समझाने के बाद इसके बेसिस पे अवेलेबल फिजिकल या केमिकल या फार्मास्यूटिकल, फार्माकोलॉजिकल, टॉक्सिकोलॉजिकल या क्लिनिकल इंफॉर्मेशन उसके बेसिस पे ही हम ये सारी बात कर रहे हैं. गाइडेंस शुड ऑल्सो बी प्रोवाइडेड टू द क्लिनिकल इन्वेस्टिगेटर ऑन द रिकॉग्नाइजेशन एंड ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ पॉसिबल ओवरडोज ADRs, that is based on previous human experience and on pharmacology of the investigational product. So this was all about investigators brochure, right? This is a part of drug development. Okay, you can find this also. Google ICH guideline under efficacy parameter, efficacy guideline E6, you can find it. Okay, and this is a special course, that is this topic is included in the course of clinical studies, drug development, the pharmacovigilance courses that you guys paid to 20,000 to 40,000 rupees and you attain certification on it, and then there's no job clarity. So I am providing that content for free without any charge based on my own understandings. All right, why? Because I want students who can't afford that type of paid education could get the content for free. YouTube is for free, there's no charges here. So the least you could do is subscribe to my channel, it's for free. Okay, no money here. You can share this video so that it helps me grow as a channel, and it helps me motivate to put on other lots of videos, to share it with your friends who are in need of such kind of videos. And like the video if you admire the content that being put on. There's a comment section down below where you can comment the types of videos you want to see, uh, your questions or doubts, or any other constructive criticism as to how I can improve my teaching style, because I'm also a newbie here. um, that's all for it. Have a nice and joyful day. Thank you.